What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Come on in, come on in. This is the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I know this episode is old, so y'all probably don't even care about what I have to say, but we're going to get into it, all right? We're going to get into it. We are almost at the season. We only have 3 more episodes before the end of the season, so let's get into it. So, you guys, this episode, hold on, let me share us out, honey. Let me share us out. So this episode, we are dealing with 2 major events. We're dealing with 2 major events. We have Melissa's fashion show, and then we have Teresa's Namaste podcast. So we open up this episode. We have Joe and Melissa going to dinner. They're taking her mom out to dinner. Baby, her mama is a mess, okay? But she said that, her mom is getting older, and she's worried about her mom, and her mom is getting more forgetful, and they are just, her and her sister are trying to figure out, do we need to make some arrangements for mom? Do we need to figure out, some things we need to do? Now, as somebody that dealing with her parents, I understand, and unfortunately, those are hard conversations to have. When your parents start getting older and you start noticing behaviors that are different, you have to ask yourself, is this because they're just getting older, or is it bigger? Like, when they're getting forgetful and you're like, okay, what is really going on here? So I can understand that, it was just, I get it, Melissa, I get it. But her mama was cracking me up. Like, what's up, Danny? Hey, Miss Bay. Her mama said something about the golden vagina and all kinds. I said, what is mama talking about? Okay. But, we find out that Melissa is doing an MV fashion show. Now, I have to say stuff as I remember it because I might forget. Let me tell you something. Later on in this episode, Jennifer Aiden was kind of throwing shade and was like, I don't get this fashion show. I mean, who has a fashion show when they're not her fashions? Dummy. Melissa runs a boutique. The fashion show are fashions that you can find in Melissa's boutique. So it makes sense. Sorry, y'all was greasing my scalp before I came on here. My face is all greasy. It makes sense for Melissa to have a fashion show advertising fashions that you can buy in her boutique. People do it all the time. Like, I know we have the fashion, the Paris Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week and stuff where we get like the designers giving their fashions. But people, remember they used to have fashion shows at the mall. It's a thing. And it's actually a smart thing, especially since Melissa has the platform that she has, that everybody is going to see. Like, people are going to go to Envy just to say, I went to Envy, I went to Melissa Gorga's store. So you definitely want to, highlight what they can find. Like, that makes sense. So Jennifer, baby, I looked at the Watch What Happens Live after this that Jennifer was on. Jennifer is a mess. And she kept cutting the other guest off. She kept trying to defend herself. She kept trying to explain, which tells me, methinks you protest too much. Makes me feel like you are guilty of all the things they're saying you are guilty of. But anyway, that's what was happening. So then we have, we see Margaret going over to Dolores's house. Right. Jennifer was rude, Shay. She was, and she did. It seemed like she was drunk or something. Like, every time Andy asked the other guy a question, she would cut him off to defend herself instead of letting him answer the question. Like, I could see if he said something you felt like you needed to defend, but you didn't even let the man answer the question before you were like, no, well, and she was talking all fast, and she was very unhinged. Anyway, and she did admit to talking to the bloggers and giving the bloggers information they weren't supposed to have. She admitted that. But I feel like she had to. I feel like her and Andy had already had a conversation and she was told, okay, this is what you need to tell the people. That's what I think. So Dolores and Marge have a conversation. Now, Margaret, listen. Whenever people get to stammering and hemming and hawing, that's when you got to question what they saying, right? Girl, you was talking trash. That's it, and that's all. It sounds like you had a lot to say after the reunion and Dolores was hanging out with Teresa and you were in your feelings about it, right? And it seems like you blamed Paulie because Paulie is cool with with Teresa and Louis. And so you was talking shit about Paulie. Let's just call a thing a thing. Marge, you said it. But like Marge said, I was angry after the reunion. I did feel some kind of way. Me and Dolores did not talk for a little while, but we worked it out. So here's the thing. That's all you had to say, girl. All you had to say was, you know what? I did say some shit that was probably out of pocket. I was mad. I was in my feelings. I was talking to somebody who I thought was a friend. I was venting. So was I wrong for saying those things? In hindsight, sure. But in the moment, that's how I felt. Me and you have worked it out. You know I was upset with you because we didn't speak for a couple of weeks. So you know I was upset with you. And in hindsight, I could have handled it better. But yeah, I said it. I don't understand why people make things harder than they have to be. Because like Dolores said, she said, listen, Marge talks a lot of shit. And then, of course, production showed all the times that Marge was talking a lot of shit. She was like, listen, Marge talks a lot of shit. But she's also a very, very good friend. And she was mad at me. I know she was upset. And so we dealt with it, right? That's all you had to say, Margie. But I'm sure that Dolores is now probably side-eyeing her and Jackie's ass, to be honest with you. And then we got to talk about what's going on with her husband, the test. The tests haven't come back yet, but we went through that last week with the episode last week. So we're gonna keep positive, fingers crossed that everything comes back good for Margaret. But yeah, child, because Dolores looked like she wasn't. I feel like Dolores was upset in the moment, but once you talk about it and you realize, okay, you know what, me and you were in a bad space. Okay, because she was like, did you say anything else about? Because it was funny because Margaret wouldn't admit that she said anything about Dolores. I mean, but Paulie, she was like, well, I mean, yeah, Dolores was like, well, what else did you say about Paulie? What else did you say about my man? Right? So anyway, so we get to Danielle is getting ready for the fashion show. Melissa has invited her to come backstage and kind of see how things work behind the scenes, which I find it interesting because Danielle just did her whole fashion show at New York Fashion Week. So I don't understand why Melissa needs to, Melissa is not teaching you anything, girl. You just had a whole fashion show at New York Fashion Week. Now, I mean, I understand that there's always ways to improve. There's always ways to grow. But Danielle was really acting like Melissa was doing her a favor. Girl, Melissa could have had that conversation with you before New York Fashion Week. But to be fair, it sounds like Melissa has been very supportive of Danielle and has been, been helping Danielle. So to be fair. We find out that Melissa has sent Danielle a dress to wear. Again, very smart. Listen, it's the same shit that designers do. When you see these celebrities go to these fashion shows, that Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Valentino, Chanel, whatever, Balenciaga, and they're wearing those labels. First of all, that is probably the biggest faux pas, to go to a designer fashion show and not be wearing that designer. Like, I'm not even rich, and I probably ain't never gonna be at no New York Fashion Week fashion show. But even I know that if I'm going to Louis Vuitton, I better find me some Louis Vuitton. Okay, I'm going to Gucci, I better find me some Gucci. That don't mean it's got to be Gucci from head to toe, but it better be primary. What you have on your body better be primarily Gucci. So why wouldn't Melissa do the same thing and send out dresses from Envy for the people to wear to the damn fashion show? That makes sense. Like, again, Melissa is doing what Melissa is supposed to be doing, okay? So Danielle has a dress from Envy, and we find out later on that Melissa sent a couple of ladies dresses from Envy. It seemed like everybody got a dress from Envy except for Jackie Goldschneider and Jennifer Aiden. Seemed like everybody else got one. Anyway, and I'm sure that was done purposefully. I'm sure that was on purpose, right? So then we have to have this conversation again about Danielle and her father. Can I tell you, I don't care no more? And I don't mean that to be mean. I hope you and your father work things out. I hope y'all find y'all way back to each other. And I mean that with all sincerity. But when I tell you I don't care anymore, I mean I don't care anymore. I promise y'all, I don't care anymore. Her daddy couldn't come to the bougie kids because he was sick. Now the daddy can't come because his wife is sick. He don't want to come. He don't want to come. And part of the reason why he doesn't want to come might be because you're using your husband as an in-between instead of you calling him directly and saying, Dad, let's talk. You want to invite him to an event so that you can have a buffer so you don't have to have a conversation with him, but he's in the same room. So you personally feel better because he's there. But y'all need to have a conversation because can I just be honest with y'all? I still don't understand what the hell the problem is. I'm so confused. Okay. You mad at your brother. We still don't have that whole story. And no, I don't believe the story that Danielle told us. I do not believe that all of this is just because he unfollowed you on Instagram because he didn't like something you was doing on your Instagram and you called him stupid and then he unfollowed. Like, this is bigger than that. Rumor was they were trying to get his wife on the show and she was going to tell it. But I don't know I don't know if that was just a rumor or whatever happened with that. But let's be clear, y'all. Let's be clear. I don't care. And it's clear to me that your daddy don't want to come. He's being polite. He's not coming right out and saying, hell no, I ain't coming. He's finding excuses, and he's finding excuses that will be acceptable. Oh, I'm sick. Oh, my wife's sick. But at the end of the day, let's be clear. Child, he don't want to come. Now, Jennifer is talking to Teresa about going to the fashion show. And of course, publicly, on the phone with Teresa knows she's being filmed. She's like, oh, okay. Oh, that's cute. All right. Well, have a good time. But I'm sure there's a thing. I'm sure that Teresa felt some kind of way about Jennifer going to that damn fashion show. Just like Jennifer feels some kind of way about Teresa being cool with Danielle. We find out that Danielle's daughter got casted to be in the Kids Bop video. First of all, I think that is so cute. Okay. That is so, so cute. Second of all, I didn't even know they still did Kids Bop. Probably because I don't have a kid and I don't listen to Kid Bop radio. But I remember Kid Bop. I didn't know they did videos though, but I remember the kid version of the songs and I remember the Kid Bop. So that's cute that her daughter's been cast for the video. Great, good for you, Danielle. Good for you. And then Teresa gives us the history of Namaste Bitches. I think it is always hilarious when stuff like this happens on reality shows. And by the time the show comes out, it's totally different. I find that hilarious because, baby, Namaste Bitches is no more. Okay. Teresa and this woman done fell out. This woman done told everybody how bad Louis treated her when they was down to the Bravo Con. She had just had a miscarriage and Louis got in her face and Louis was talking to her all rough. And after she had just had this miscarriage and child, it was a mess. And then Teresa tried to come back and apologize. And it's been a mess. So Teresa just started a whole new podcast with a whole new person. And this Melissa lady, I don't know what the hell she's doing, but I just find it funny that Teresa is talking about how wonderful she is. Talking about how wonderful this woman is. And now when it's all over said and done, child, they not even cool no more. Anyway. Yes, because Namaste Bitches was all over last season. Her wearing the shirts, hats, and now it's gone. Exactly, Shay. Exactly. So, sometimes things just don't age well, honey. They just don't age well on these reality shows. So, all the ladies, like I said, except for Teresa, go to the fashion show. And, Margaret is messy in a shady way. So, Jackie did not get a dress. And Margaret made sure to let Jackie know that everybody got dresses from Melissa except for her. Baby Jackie got her feelings. She said, fine. I see here that exactly where I am in you all's life. And clearly we're not friends. Fine. Girl, you got that mad because you ain't get a dress from Melissa when you've been up Teresa's ass all season. Girl, bye. I'm like, people crack me up. So you really thought that you chose a team. Let's be clear. You chose a team, right? Some of these ladies are trying to play the middle, and then other people chose a team. Girl, you chose a team. You're not even trying to play the middle. Like Margaret chose a team. She's Team Melissa, right? Rachel chose a team. She's Team Melissa. Jackie, you chose a team. You team Teresa. Now the other ladies were trying. They not there now, but they were trying to somehow stay somewhere in the middle. Girl, you didn't even try. So you got an invitation to the fashion show because it's a group event, and you Melissa had to invite you. Let's be clear, okay? But she ain't had to send you no dress. So then Margaret did actually try to have a conversation with Jackie about where they are and things that were being said or whatever. It didn't go well. Like I said, it didn't go well. And Margaret was just kind of like, girl, listen, it is what it is. You see things the way you see things. I see things the way I see things. And we ain't got to talk about it no more. Like, it just is what it is, right? It just is what it is. Jackie is very insecure. And did you hear, that's the other thing. Did y'all catch that on Watch What Happens Live when Jennifer was trying to explain the whole Jackie thing? She was like, well, I mean, she didn't want to admit that they were using her, but they were using her. Then she said, well, it was fun having her on our team. So again, you are very clear that you're choosing sides and you're choosing teams, and that you and Teresa were very intentional in choosing the side that y'all chose. Let's be clear. What up, Tracy Boo? We see the fellas. Frank ain't been around. We have not seen Frank a lot this season. But Frank said, you know, his dog passed away, and he's been really dealing with that. He was supposed to go on vacation with his girlfriend, and he was going to propose, but they didn't go on vacation because they had to put the dog down. So he was saying, listen, I've been just going through a lot, dealing with a lot, and now I got to figure out how I'm going to propose to my girl. So listen, I find it very interesting how Frank has fallen back now that Dolores is with Paulie, versus David. Jennifer was awful on Watch What Happens Live. She kept over-talking everyone, downplaying the altercation with Danielle, and saying who cares as it pertains to the blogger saga. Exactly, just simply. We talked about that earlier, baby. She was absolutely unhinged. And I don't think it did her any favors, because did y'all see Andy's face? And the guest was, and even the guest kind of was like, really? Really? Hold on a quick second, y'all. Hold on. And at this point, I'm going to be honest with y'all, Dolores just is over all of it. Dolores is like, listen, what is really going on here? Where are we going with this friend group? What's happening here? Like what's going on? And of course, this is setting up the final scene that we see where they have the big dinner that we heard was absolutely unhinged, and it was horrible, and it did not go well, which was the reason why they decided not to even do a reunion. The fact that this ladies couldn't even do a cast trip. Like, I have never seen a cast get to the point where they can't even do a cast trip, right? Jennifer Aiden is there still trying to defend herself, still trying to defend what she did to Danielle, trying to downplay it. Like, girl, we were all there. We saw it. And of course, her and Danielle are throwing jabs back and forth at each other. You know, they're not speaking to each other, but of course they're throwing shade and talking about each other. But overall, the fashion show looked like it went really well. And of course, Jennifer Aiden is still throwing shit about Melissa and this man, talking about, I noticed that they're all female models. Yeah, because rumor has it that the guy that Jennifer was trying to spread that rumor about last season, he was one of the models from her fashion show. So I was like, once again, in your confessional, you are still trying to perpetuate this rumor about Melissa and this man. Let's be clear. Very much like when a woman hears rumors about her husband and they stay with that husband, and you be like, listen, ain't no need saying nothing because she ain't going nowhere. Joe ain't going nowhere. I don't believe the rumors. Let's be clear. I really don't, because they're coming from Teresa's side of the table. I don't believe the rumors. Do I think that Melissa has enjoyed men flirting with her? Maybe. But hell, Joe does too. Hell, Joe be flirting with other women in Melissa's face. So I don't think it's that. I don't really think it went down like that. But the fact that you insist on continuing to bring it on camera at every opportunity, you didn't have to talk about that. The fact that you were trying to bring that woman to Danielle's event, that's why, see, let's tell the truth and shame the devil. That's why you don't rock with Danielle anymore. I'm sorry. My noise just made a weird sound. But yeah, like, that was unnecessary. Anyway, I wish they would have had more time to question her, but she was too busy talking instead of listening. Right, Shay? I wish she would have let the other guy answer the question, because I felt like he had some good stuff to say, and he never got a chance to even answer a question. Anyway. So it's the Namaste, bitches recording. And the ladies got there early. Jennifer got there early. Jennifer, Danielle, and I think Jackie. I mean, not Danielle, Dolores, and I think Jackie got there early. We saw Teresa, come in. And it's a live recording, so it was open to the public. This was an event that was a real event that was open to the public. And she was talking about healing and getting rid of people out of your life. And she was actually reading out of her diary. And I was like, girl, how obvious can you get? Like, this is clearly about your brother and Melissa. This is clearly about what, you deciding not to speak to them anymore and not to be cool. Like, girl, how obvious can you be about what you're talking about, right? So Danielle ends up showing up, even though Danielle told Melissa she wasn't going to be able to make it because they had to do the Kids Bop video for her daughter. But Danielle said, listen, we got done earlier than we thought, and so we booked it down here, right? We booked it down here because I wanted to show Teresa that I supported her, even though she felt like Teresa don't really have her back right now. She's feeling some kind of way about Teresa a little bit. So they're filming at a church. The name of your podcast is called Namaste Bitches. The topic that you're choosing to talk about is not not forgiving, walking away, getting people out of your life. But you're filming it at a cathedral. She does talk about the fact that she was angry with God for a long time because, her mom died like 6 months after she got home from jail, and how she felt like that time was robbed, that, basically she was angry with God because, she felt like going to jail and all those things took time away from her spending time with her mom in her last days. Shouldn't you be mad at Joe? Shouldn't you be mad at yourself? Because like I've told y'all, Teresa knew that they were under investigation before she even went on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Now, that's not to say that they wouldn't have still caught them. But, girl, you went to jail because you lied on your bankruptcy paperwork. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. The judge did not want to send you to jail. The judge even said, I wasn't going to send you to jail because you're a mother and I wanted you to stay with your kids. But your blatant disregard of the law by lying on your documentation, not once, not twice, but 3 times, is the reason why I feel like I need to teach you a lesson. Now, that's what the judge said. So you mad at God because you broke the law multiple times? Because let's be clear, the judge could have sent you to jail for a lot longer than what he did. He really just gave you a little tap on the wrist. Little. Anyway. So during the break, I mean, of course, when Danielle shows up, Danielle and Teresa and Jennifer once again are not speaking to each other. They're talking around each other, talking about each other. So they go backstage. Facts. Look at the Chrisleys, yeah. So they go backstage, and Teresa is trying to get them to make peace, right? Teresa is like, listen, can y'all find a way to make peace? And Jennifer is mad because Jennifer is like, why would you do that? Like, when you got beef with somebody, I ride with you till the wheels fall off. Why are you trying to make me make up with Danielle? Why are you trying to force me in a situation where I got to be around her or I have to, make peace with her and I'm not ready? She was like, it's still fresh, it's still new, and I'm not ready. Now, I will say this, Danielle, you were very confrontational as well. Like, every chance you got, you made a little smart ass comment at Jennifer. Jennifer returned the favor, and they was going back and forth, right? They was giving each other the business. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Giving each other the business. Jennifer feels like they didn't have her back. Nobody. She feels like Dolores didn't have her back. Teresa didn't have her back. She was like, y'all just sat there and let her talk to me crazy. None of y'all said anything to her. None of y'all tried to check her. Y'all just let her say whatever she wanted to say to me. And Dolores was like, look, girl, listen, I'm sick of all of y'all. And one of y'all going to have to be the adult in the room. One of y'all is going to have to take the high road, okay? And Jennifer was like, but she was talking to me crazy. Dolores was like, and you was talking to her crazy too. Like, y'all went back and forth. And I think at the end of the day, I think the reason why, because at first I was trying to figure out why Dolores had so much energy for Jennifer, because I was like, now Danielle did start it. Danielle, I even rewound it. I was like, maybe I missed something. Danielle did start it, right? But I think Dolores went back to the beginning. I think in Dolores' mind, this is all on Jennifer. Like, the whole conflict with Jennifer and Danielle is on Jennifer. Because that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because I was like, now, Dolores, why do you have that much energy for Jennifer? Because Danielle did start that. Like, Danielle was the one being nasty. But again, Dolores was there. Dolores saw the altercation. And I think in Dolores' mind, Jennifer, you started this shit. That's how I felt, right? Jen started talking crap about Danielle to her friends. Yeah, now, let's be clear. Jennifer had been talking about Danielle all night. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Danielle is petty as F and always has to have the last word. She's always been that way. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't get me wrong. Jennifer was talking about Danielle, but I mean, when they went in that back room, Danielle started that. Danielle said something about her dropping dead or something real crazy. So Danielle actually started it, but again, I think Dolores had that energy for Jennifer because she was like, basically, Jennifer, you started this shit to begin with. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's pretty much where the episode ended. Like I said, I ain't have a lot for this. Okay, I ain't have a lot for this, but we're gonna go ahead. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock out Dubai. So give me about 15 minutes to set it up and everything, and we'll be back. Let's say 8:50. We'll be back so we can do Dubai. We're gonna do both episodes of Dubai. Now I have a little bit more to say about Dubai, and it's 2 episodes to cover. So y'all come on back in about 20 minutes so we can talk about Dubai. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace. Jen started it from the podcast. Danielle doesn't know how to let stuff go, and she's going to give her all the energy. No, Danielle didn't start it. Jen started talking trash to right, but I'm talking about to their face. I mean, when they were in that back room, Danielle started it. That's what I mean. All right, y'all, be right back. Give me 20 minutes.